the panorama has been very hard on everyone. So why don't you come down to Chick-fil-A for an 8-piece nugget for $2.99?
It's just a person saying, I'm that person. Literally, shut up.
This, on the other hand, is Beasley Day.
That's a Cerberus.
And
that's a beagle. All right, everyone. We've been listening to the complaints. We've heard the people, and the people have demanded, bring back Carly. And we have brought back Carly. Carly, welcome back to the podcast.
Hello, it's your favorite Danny DeVito stan. Thank you for having me.
I also, we pulled out some stops, and we brought Dan back to the podcast. Everyone give Dan a round of applause.
Somehow I hear crickets, and I don't. Are you guys hearing that?
You know,
that's weird. It's weird.
What's funny is you probably actually didn't hear my clapping.
Sure didn't.
I love the Discord noise suppression because I could literally be clapping right now and you wouldn't know it.
Mm-hmm. It's actually impressive. It's honestly a little creepy, if I'm being 100 with you. Like,
it is.
It weirds me out because I literally don't understand how it works. Like, right? I understand noise. I understand noise filtering. I get that. I understand how to do that on
But how do they target it like that and lift it around your voice and your voice doesn't sound different?
I don't fucking know. It actually freaks me out a little bit.
Like, freaking Adobe Audition can't do that for me, and it's supposed to be the best like consumer and mid-grade commercial sound editor out there. Like, what the hell?
I'm sure that it does affect our voice a little bit. I know for a fact that like sometimes words will get cut off at the end or at the beginning. Like it cuts off things here and there. But overall, yeah. I have no fucking clue.
Adobe's just taking
shortcuts. I have no fucking clue. I mean, I've used Adobe for years, and like the things you can do with Audition are stupid, right? Like I'm very good at cleaning up, like doing deep cleans on audio in Audition. It is literally part of my job nowadays.
Congrats.
Actually, I do it in Audacity, which is very weird.
Wait, what?
I do a lot of it in Audacity these days. Unless it's like something insanely dense, I do a lot of it of cleanup in Audacity.
Interesting.
Huh.
Off
right?
call, we're gonna have to talk about that because I would like to move into using not Adobe in the future.
That's fair. Yeah, I can give you the deets. It's will probably work just as well as what we're using now.
Hell
anyway,
yeah. But more importantly, Carly is back.
Yay!
Carly pointed out to me last night that at the end of the episode, Dan said, well, we'd love to have you back, but we pretty much never bring our guests back for a second episode. And man, go figure, almost 2 years have gone by, and here we are.
But I will say, did Miss Ponder Replay really help with that?
Did who?
I mean,
the pandemic.
Oh.
The pandemic.
No, yeah.
I don't want you to get demonetized.
I already called that before.
I just don't want you to get demonetized by the big guy.
Luckily, we are an independent podcast. We're grassroots.
Working from the ground up, baby.
And by grassroots, he means we eat grass because we can't afford anything else.
Susan Wojcicki, we don't need your fucking money. We
no,
are
hold on,
independent.
Hold on, wait. Hold on. If they will give us money.
Want me to make some calls, Dan?
I can't believe that Carly has clout at YouTube.
I'm gonna make a claim here. I'm gonna make a hot, spicy claim here. I don't think you have the authority for that.
Dan, that's incredibly rude. You can't say that about our guest.
You guys, I swear to God, I'm this close to doing a weekly Blazeball update on this fucking podcast.
I cannot believe that you're that invested in your fucking fake baseball.
No, the Twitter account that was the commissioner's Twitter account had a mental breakdown this week.
What?
I don't know what that means.
The commissioner is like the announcer. It's just the Twitter account for the Blazeball thing had a fucking mental breakdown on like as it went this week. It was great.
Amazing.
Okay, can you do a quick rundown of this? Because I have no clue what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Will I talk about Blazeball?
Oh
boy, would I!
I can't wait.
And I can't talk about what Jackson did because every time I say it, he's like, "I'm sorry, do you mean baseball?" Baseball is at its core a fantasy baseball game run by like SCP writers and set in an Eldritch Horror universe.
What?
Current highlights include rogue umpires that will incinerate players. We've necromancy'd a few people. We have a squid that runs the gift shop. The entire league is run by a massive coin, that is only known as ILB management. We are finding out that entire teams have been wiped off the face of the map, but they're still here now, and so we don't know how the heck that worked out. Yeah, it's bonkers. It's bonkers wild. I literally would need an hour to sit and explain like all the things that have happened, even like to scratch the surface of it. But suffice to say, it is bonkers hog wild. But at its core, it's a game about fantasy baseball.
I hate how invested I want to become from just what you just said.
Because it's so good.
Yeah.
Noah, the problem is, and the thing that I think freaks out a lot of people that I've been telling about it lately is that it looks extremely dense, and it looks like it's, oh man, you got to learn all this lore to get into it. And I will say it again because I feel like it's bears repeating. You super don't have to engage with any of this, and you will have an amazing like fantasy baseball league experience. Like it's still a good fantasy like sports game.
Okay.
You will also have moments where you just throw your hands up and go, wow, that sure is hog wild, huh? And as long as you're okay with that, like, I don't know what's going on, I'm just riding the wave, it's great.
Can't believe Fastball Tommy's third arm got cut off. How's he going to throw his signature fastball?
I can't believe Fastball Tommy. I can't believe Jalen Hot Dog Fingers hit a man with a baseball, and now he's killed like 7 people because he keeps hitting them with baseballs and they get incinerated later.
You know, for some reason, all of this
actual thing that happened.
All of this kind of now tell me if I'm wrong. This kind of reminds me of a combination of D&D and the XFL, but baseball.
Yeah, no, it definitely kind of does.
What's the XFL?
The XFL. So the XFL is an independent football league run by the CEO of the World Wrestling Entertainment.
I remember this. Okay,
so Mr. Vincent McMahon has these fucking players. Like basically it's just like, oh yeah, you can take roids, it's fine. So you have these crazy huge guys with like barely any rules playing football. And so I'm just imagining like a giant golem, like the Pokemon Machamp.
You're not wrong.
I'm just imagining Machamp with 4 baseball bats on like home base and like I don't know, an elf on the pitcher's mound.
Let me see if I can. Well, okay, so the 2 players that I will point to for the pies are, well, 3 players are Huber Frumple, which is 2 worms in a baseball suit. Huber and Frumple, and they look like the long snakes, long worms, whatever the fuck they're called. You know what I'm talking about? So they look like that, and they're great.
Stop.
You've got
their worm on a string in a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So for audio,
and they share a shirt. Yes, that is exactly what they are.
So for audio listeners, because there is not a video component to this podcast, I will describe this picture for you. So the picture that I have right now is a purple worm on a string and a yellow worm on a string who weirdly looks like Big Bird with intertwined tails, wearing a green and yellow jersey and yellow pants and red shoes.
Super Frumple. They're sweethearts.
Fucking scared of it.
You know who the best one is? The best boy. The best boy is Beasley Day. So the picture I just sent is our second best boy, Wrestling Greatness, who's a large lad who is also the cause of a heart attack this week.
That man looks like he would play in the XFL.
Exactly. This, on the other hand, is Beasley Day.
That's a Cerberus. That's a beagle.
It's a yeah.
But he's got people arms, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It's very unclear.
He at least has worm on a string arms, which Carly did forget to mention. The worm on a string has arms. 1 arm for each worm.
Worm on a string. Ow!
How else are they going to hit the ball?
He has arms and legs.
I don't know that he has legs. Maybe those are fake.
They do. They do in fact have legs.
Actually, contrary to popular belief, those legs are not worm on a string's legs. That is an 8-year-old child that they stole from Walmart.
One down each pant leg.
Oh no, that's oh shoot, who is that?
Sorry, Queen, you can only use one leg. Get in there.
Oh, Dan, I hate to say it, but I might be sold on the Ohio worms.
I mean, that's understandable, but also understand that I will end my friendship with you if you go to be an Ohio Worms fan. They're the worst.
Who is this one?
They're not.
They got Lubert Ji-un, and he looks like a Junji Ito character. He's about to murder me with a baseball bat, Dan. How am I supposed to tell him no?
I'm trying to find...
That's a millipede ferret.
Millipede Aqualeft is my favorite. He looks like a little sea otter wearing an aviator suit. So hopefully he will not pull an Amelia Earhart and play successfully and not get lost around the bases.
Okay, so one of the best things I'm seeing here is there's clearly no canon art for any of these people.
No.
Chorby Soul the Fourth doesn't even have a face.
No, here's the thing, right? So literally the entire actual game is a simulation on a website. Like I need to every piece of lore, every image you will find, everything is made up by fans.
Yeah, that's cool and all. I just love the fact that some of these someone put a lot of work into, and then other ones are sketched, colored pencils on lined paper.
Yeah, dude.
And
it's so good.
This is really good.
It's very good. I cannot express to you how good it is. Let me see if I can find. There was the fucking, who was it? The Georgias, and I can't remember who it was. Who was it that got married this week? The Georgias and the Jazz Hands teams had a team marriage this week.
What?
It was, and there's just a shitload of fan art, of wholesome fan art in the chat of like different characters in different outfits, different wedding snacks. It's just good. It's just. You guys don't love this fucking game. It's so fucking stupid. It's so goddamn stupid. I love it so much.
What does faded to dust mean? Did this person? Oh, duh. They got killed. Never mind.
They got incinerated. Yeah.
There's murders in Blazeball.
I told you they got incinerated. How would you think happened?
I don't know that they went to the dugout.
How many seasons are we on? Season 9 right now, or season 19?
No, we are on season. I think we're finishing 20. Hold on, actually, let me pull it up. Baseball. What season are we on?
There's 20.
We are on season 21. Season 21 just ended.
There's 21 seasons of Blazeball.
Each week. To be fair, each season is a week, right? So like,
okay.
It's a very each season is a week. Each game runs for 1 hour. Almost the week through. There's a early siesta, a late siesta, and the end season, and then they take Sundays off. And then about every 3 or 4 weeks, we get an off-season week where they do like back-end maintenance, and that's when the Baseball Roundup comes out as well.
So what I'm seeing here is this is something that was birthed from pandemic boredom.
No. They said that the game was actually like being made prior to the pandemic. It just happened to gain a shitload of popularity in like the second half of last year, partially because of it.
Season 1 was from July of 2020.
Yeah, but it was already in development before the pandemic hit. It got popularity because of the pandemic, but it did not originate in the pandemic.
Okay.
Man.
This is wild.
This is very wild.
Dude, it's so good.
I wonder if they'll let me audition to be a shortstop. I wonder how that works.
Fun fact, part of the community like thing is that when new characters come out, a lot of times like players will like make Twitter accounts for them and like do in-character stuff for them. So like that isn't insane, to be honest.
Oh my god, I can go back to my Stan Twitter days and be Jingle Bingle, the 3-foot shortstop.
Yeah, absolutely. If that character, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yes, go make that character, because it really does just come out of like the community as a whole. But I mean, there's 100% a 3-foot shortstop somewhere.
I got it. Perfect shortstop. His name's Jingle Bangle. He's 3'3". His number is 3. He wears jingle bells on his shoes. He's obviously a Christmas elf turned baseball superstar. And whenever people try to go from second base to third base, Jingle Bangle takes him out from the knees. And the last thing you hear is a jingle bangle before you explode. Oh.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, not as insane as some of the lore.
The Canada
not as insane
Moist
as the actual lore. Yeah, the Moist Talkers are the worst. That's 3B's team. Or Cedric's team, I guess.
Yeah, fuck the Moist Talkers.
Dude, fuck the Moist Talkers. Fuck the Crabs. The Crabs are basically the Crabs. Being a Crabs fan is basically like being a Patriots fan at this point. Like, you can. It's fine. They've won 5 championships now.
I bet they deflate their baseballs. Do they have a golem named Bomb Frady, who is their star quarterback?
Who's on the Crabs right now? Let me look. Who's on the Crabs?
Oh, that flopped. Fuck me. Goodbye.
Listen, no, I'm looking because I'm curious. See, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. All these names, right? All these names are submitted by Patreon backers or pulled out of a massive list. So we don't like, and like all the data on the site, like you have like blood types and like soul scream and pregame rituals and like all of that is generated. The lore, people take the names and like the very basics of the lore ideas and fucking lore jam them and build a character out of it, and it's amazing.
I like Kennedy Loser.
That's Loser is pretty great. I'm a huge fan of Peanut Halloway. He's great.
I like these shadow players that they are definitely in existence. They're just not using them yet.
Mm-hmm. So the shadows are essentially like if you think of them as like being benched almost. Mm-hmm. Like if someone gets incinerated, one of the shadow players will come out and pick them up. Yeah, dude, it's this game is so good. This game is so good, and it's just very fun to like I'm not deep into it. I truly am not. I promise you I'm not. Mm-hmm. It's very fun to just engage with the community. It's very, very fun to engage with the community, and like they're like each team has their own little Discord channels, and like you get to like cheer along when your team is doing well and suffer together when your team is doing poorly. And I it's one of those things where I never understood the appeal of fantasy sports until I started playing around with baseball, and now I'm like, oh, I get it. It's a community thing. That makes more sense.
The Baltimore Crabs mascot is a crab with a knife.
Mm-hmm. That's the Philly Pies is the Philly filling. Hold on, let me see if I can find a picture of the filling.
The Philly filling. I hate that.
You should.
Oh my god. That's just. Am I okay to change the subject very fast? It just reminded me of something.
Yeah, please.
It has something to do with Philly. Did you guys see the TikTok where Gritty, the Philadelphia Flyer, for Pride Month, flew around a pride flag to that song like I'll rise up today.
It's so good. It's so good. It's so fucking good. I love it so much.
And then this whole quick discourse on TikTok was like, yo, is Gritty gay? And I'm like, I hope so.
Is Gritty gay? I feel like
Gritty is one of the boys. I know it. I know it.
Here's the thing. I think Gritty is Gritty at most is pan, but also just aggressively like not interested in most people. Like he would be interested in anyone, but he got no time.
He's got too much chaos to sow. Too many wild oats to reap.
Gritty's too busy in the Dickie's barbecue pit parking lot with me beating up fucking Ted Cruz.
It's true.
Yeah, dude, it's I love Gritty a lot. I do like Gritty quite a bit. That reminds me. I mean, almost anyone who listens, not everyone. Gritmas 2021, 100% happening. I have to start figuring out the details on it, but
nice.
It's 100% happening this year. Thank God.
Can I telephone in via telegraph?
You can just come. You can just be here.
It's true.
Sold.
Like the whole point of Gritmas is always been a very not completely open invitation, but we try to spread a pretty wide net. Just because like a lot of even among like the podcast listeners, like and almost all of them I would consider friends at this point, if not all of them. I don't want to say all of them because I don't know. Like, it turns out we have one listener from like Kentucky who I just don't know that they exist. But you know, all the Discord people I consider all of them friends. Like it's a very wide net we try to spread with it. We're hoping we were actually one of the things we were talking. I mean, I can talk about it on the podcast. I don't care. Noah can always cut it if he thinks that it's too much info. Which Noah is known to do, obviously.
Oh yeah, I cut content all the time. I definitely don't hardly edit these podcasts and just kill the dead air.
We were talking about doing like actually maybe renting a place for it this time. Like actually like we're gonna get a suite at like we're gonna rent out a suite for like an evening kind of thing, like an overnight.
Oh, make it a classy event.
And it doesn't even have to be that classy. It's just more of 10 people can fit in my apartment.
And 11 people want to come.
Well, 10 people cannot all sleep in my apartment.
That's also true.
We just don't have the floor space anymore. The old place ironically had more floor space or more
That's funny.
Unused floor space.
Can't sleep on the stairs.
Cannot in fact sleep on the stairs. Cannot sleep in most of the closets. Not all the closets, most of the closets.
Dan, can I recommend a venue for Arby's?
Is it
for Arby's?
Is it Arby's, Carly?
Is the venue Arby's?
I'm lightheaded. I was gonna say, can I recommend a venue for Gritmas? And then I read Arby's.
I wonder how much would a fast food place charge for you to rent it out for the evening? If you just have to find like a shitty one that doesn't make a lot of money.
The one I pulled up was in Wisconsin.
Arby's?
Yeah.
In Wisconsin?
Yeah, Wisconsin Rapids.
Yeah, let's all just go to Wisconsin for Gritmas. It's Gritmas Northeast.
Hey everybody, if you'd like to come to Gritmas 2021, please go to 311. Tell them
You were going so strong. I was so in on this bit.
You know what? No, I'm almost there. I had a little brain fart for a minute. I'm kind of hungover. Tell them that United States Representative
Mike Kelly
sent you to the Arby's, and just yell "Go Gritmas" as you walk in, and you get a free beef and cheddar sandwich. Arby's. We have the meats.
I think I threw Carly off when she watched me make a note that said "cut address."
Can it just be, please, can it be just like a long beep? It's like,
that's the plan.
I'm so sorry.
I love everything about this.
Gritmas. Welcome to Arby's. Oh.
Fantastic. So one of the things that happened last night, Dan, that prompted me to say, hey, Carly, come to my apartment tomorrow and record an episode with us. Firstly, is that Jackson is not here because he's somewhere else.
Fuck Jackson.
Virginia?
I'm kidding. I love you, Jackson.
I think. Anyway, but Jackson's not here. But also, you may remember Carly had like more stories about the mall that we just didn't have time to get to last time. You remember that?
No, but yes, go on.
So I got to hear one of them last night for the first time ever. Like, I've heard a lot of Carly's like stories, you know, like almost attacking a construction guy with a box cutter because he spooked her more than one time. You know, the racist guy, the guy who just said nice tits. I've heard a lot of Carly's stories before, but I have never heard. I've never heard the Jerry Sandusky story until last night. So, Dan, you know who Jerry Sandusky is, but for anyone who doesn't know, Jerry Sandusky was several years ago at this point. What was he? Penn State?
Yeah.
The football coach at Penn State.
Sure, why not?
Who was, you know, they caught him being a pedophile. Huge national news. A whole lot of people were involved in it, in like helping cover up and things like that. So it was a big deal. So yeah, there's your groundwork. Carly, take it away.
Okay. So
Carly worked at an unnamed coffee chain.
Yes, I worked at Barflux.
Barflux?
I was 100% about to go, Mooncash.
Yeah, that's great.
That's my favorite picture from the Ohio Snails.
So, if you recall, a long time ago, the code name that we used for this person was Tuxedo Boy.
Oh, I forgot that, but that's good.
Yes.
Tuxedo Boy.
So, and I know like they're all old or whatever, and they're not gonna hear this, but I'm probably just gonna use code names for them. But anyways, so one day I was working at Barflux, and this guy, Tuxedo Boy, was very known in my mall to be very racist, very homophobic,
Gross.
but also very narcissistic and egotistical. Like, I'm better than you, and I'm like, hey queen, you're a manager at a tuxedo store, can you calm down please? Like, so
please stop.
yeah. So one day I obviously was working, and he came in, and he would order just like a small coffee in a medium cup, very easy, and then he'd go like steal a quarter of our cream and then go off on his day and then chip us for refills. Swell guy.
Mm-hmm.
But in front of my store there was this this big like TV exhibit, and basically it was like there were a couple iPads, and little kids could go over there and like customize their own fish. Like, they could make their own fish and throw them onto the screen. And like a guy would come on and be like, hey Billy, I love your fish, Mr. Snuggles. Hey, he's really cool.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So like people would come over, and like the old people would walk the mall and stuff. So I had a couple that would frequently come to the mall, Bill and Jill, and they came in, ordered their drinks, and they had their grandson with them. And so they went out to the tables, they let their grandson go play with the little fish thing. Meanwhile, Tuxedo Boy comes back for his refill, and he orders his refill, and he turns around and he looks at Bill, the gentleman, sitting outside of the store. And Tux goes and like he points at the guy and looks at us, and he goes, you see that guy there? And we go, Bill? Yeah? And he goes, I don't think I could ever trust that man with my kids. And we're like, why? What? Bill's nice. And he goes,
oh no.
And he goes, just the way that he looks, I'm telling you, if you told me that was Jerry Sandusky, I would believe you. And I'm like, oh no. And he just starts going. He goes, but look at him. Like, he's even got the haircut. He's about as tall as he is. I'm telling you, I bet that's Jerry Sandusky. I'm going to go ask. And we're just sitting there like shocked.
Please don't do that.
But he keeps going. He thinks it's funny. And we're like, can you please stop? Meanwhile, as this is going on, we noticed Jill, Bill's wife, get up and bring their cups. She is coming into the store to grab refills for them. And Tux is still going about how Jerry Sandusky ass would totally R his kids if given the opportunity, because he just looks like that type of guy. And
oh my God.
I'm sitting there trying to like sling drinks. I'm doing all this stuff. And I see Jill walk in the store, and I go, Tux, hey, like, let's tone it down. Like, let's calm down. And he's like, no, what are you talking about? This is funny. I'm being a jokester. Jerry Sandusky can't touch my kids. And I was like, you need to stop. And he's like, no, this is supposed to be funny. Jill is like 2 feet away from him at this point, and I look at him and go, well, you want to go tell that to Jerry Sandusky's wife? And he turns.
God, what a nightmare.
And Jill is standing there looking at Tux going, hello? And Tux looks at her, looks at his drink, looks at me, and walks out of the store. 2 hours later, Tux comes back, sheepishly like, hey, Carly, can I pull you aside real quick? I need to talk to you. Okay. Do you have a second? And I'm like, the fuck do you want? So I go to the side.
How dare you? Get out of here.
Like, what the fuck do you want? And he's like, hey, I just wanted to like deeply apologize to you if my jokes were like off the cuff. Like I was just trying to have a good time. I was trying to be funny, and it was topical.
JK, LOL.
And he's like, it was just really topical, and just I didn't think it was gonna hurt anybody's feelings. And I looked at him and I'm like, why are you apologizing to me? Like, yeah, was it uncomfortable? Fuck yeah.
Did I hate it? Yes.
Yeah, really hated it. But I'm like, I'm not the person you should be apologizing to. And I'm like, Jerry Sandusky and his wife are sitting outside right now if you want to go tell them. And so he comes over to the register, buys two $20 gift cards, walks outside to Bill and Jill, hands them $20, and just walks away. And that is the time Tux decided to call my customer a pedophile. The end.
Oh my god, what a nightmare.
I literally cannot imagine being in a customer service situation and sitting listening to that. Like I can't imagine that. How far up your own ass do you have to be to think, yeah, this is the joke I'm gonna tell today? Because firstly, there's edgy humor, yada 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 aside, that's not even a funny joke. That's not even.
No, not at all.
There's nothing about that screams, haha, this is sure gonna kill him down at the comedy club. No, it's just
being shitty.
Really, really weird, and it's super shitty. But yeah, here we are.
Yeah, and there were
shitty as fuck.
There were a lot more things than just that. Like I remember one time we were selling like sugar skull cookies because it was around like Halloween and Dia de los Muertos, and like just very like it was as quick as he said it. He walks in, he looks at the cookies, he comes to us, and he goes, "Oh, I got some sugar cookies out." We're like, "Yeah, you want one?" And he goes, "What you trying to do? Honor the aborted Mexican babies?" And we're like,
oh my god.
We're like, it's 8:30 in the morning. What are you doing?
Oh my god. What a nightmare. What a nightmare of a job. What a nightmare of a work environment.
Yeah. And
Dan, can I tell you the worst part?
Yeah, please tell him the worst part.
You remember EYA?
Of course.
This man was heavily involved.
Well, of course he was.
Uh-huh.
He was like one of the big financial leaders.
Yeah. Like, because, you make that tuxedo cash at the less generic sounding somehow tuxedo place. I learned that the mall has two tuxedo places.
Had
sure does.
Had two tuxedo places. And the one that I thought sounded worse than the other is actually the better one. So that was interesting. But yeah, no. Somehow this man was making bank, apparently, with his tuxedo cash. And he bankrolled so many things that they did. And
I mean,
now I see it probably as kind of trying to like, buy his forgiveness or something like that. Like, oh, I know I'm not always the best guy, but don't worry, because I'm giving so much money to these guys. So that's got to count for something, right?
My favorite would be when, I'm sorry to interrupt. My favorite very quickly was when he would come into the store and he would pull out a crisp $20 bill that he just pulled out from the ATM across from the store. And he'd go, you guys are doing so great. And he'd pull out the $20 bill and he'd like make it a performance to stick it into the tip jar and be like, you guys can keep that. Yeah, you can have it. And like after 3-4 years of dealing with him, I'd look at him and be like, wow, like that great. Thank you so much. Do you want to like pay my rent now too? Like, do you want to pay for like, you want to put like $800 in there? Like, and he would only tip like once every other week. So it was a great
whole
time.
Ass event. What a nightmare world you live in. I firmly hate it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I firmly hate it.
Mm-hmm. There's, I mean, not to get super like woke or anything, but like, there's definitely a difference between, and I mean, obviously, I feel like this is obvious. There's a difference between, edgy humor and just offensive shit.
Yeah. 100%.
And this guy just did not, at his age, did not understand the difference. I know age shouldn't be a factor, but
he's also a grown-ass adult.
Yeah, and you should know better. And you should have a basic understanding of what may hurt somebody's feelings, basically, and what could be seen as like, oh, haha, like this could be funny, but if you think it's gonna hurt somebody's feelings, don't fucking say it. Like, goddamn.
Especially, I can't get over the Sandusky thing, because like the man is outside the building, sure, but he's like 10 feet away from you. Why, if you're gonna decide to remark on somebody who's real and right there, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I can't imagine doing that when the man is right there and could catch me. At the very least, you shouldn't do it.
I mean, you shouldn't say it ever, but also like, exactly, like the gall to then do it anyway. Like the fact that like you have so little shame in the things you're saying that you're saying it directly in front of somebody is insane. Like it's bad, again, like you said, bad enough that they would say it in the first place. Insane that they would say it, just happily spout that shit into the world.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he's gotten a little better.
Unlikely.
Yeah, you guys are right. It's unlikely. But
was it his place that shut down?
Yes.
Aha. I wonder where he's at now.
I could tell you after we're done.
Okay. I remember.
There's a whole saga of what happened after.
Dan, long story short, he's in a service job now, and he's not making his tuxedo bucks.
No.
Oh man, how could this have happened?
He got fired from the service job.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he got a job at the coffee place that Carly didn't work at. Barflux. And then he got fired. Go figure. Can't imagine why.
For being creepy to minors.
Shocking! Nobody. Suddenly, his interaction with EYA makes more sense.
I mean, we didn't have any minors there, but yeah, I get where you're coming from.
I'm just saying people are garbage, and delete humanity.
I'm very glad that this guy is probably the most out there example of people that I've ever met, because holy shit. I can't imagine a world where there's more of him. I know he has kids, but I also know he does not have primary custody of his kids. Which is
roasting this man now.
Yeah, I'm gonna roast this man. He's a mess.
I'm here for it. No, I did not disagree. It was merely a comment.
We could move on to other things though, happier things.
Yeah, I was just
happier things that don't make me hate being alive.
That's super valid. Yo, Dan, you'll care about this. Well, I mean, you're not as big of a Binding fan as Michelle is, but I've been playing a lot of Binding of Isaac recently. And
yeah, I noticed you're bad at it.
Man, I finished my first ever Binding of Isaac run. Like, that was the first time I've ever won a round of the entire game between both games.
I mean, obvious question, but what did you think?
I love it. It's really fun. I was so bad at the original one. I have everything unlocked because my sister played on my account, and that was like the game that she played when she couldn't sleep at night, kind of thing. So she finished the game and unlocked everything, and I did not.
Because you were bad.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, of course, loading into a game that has been completed multiple times as a guy who could barely play, the difficulty has leveled up, and I was once again getting my ass handed to me, and it was just not a good time. So
classically,
that was less than fun. But now,
that was far less than ideal.
Yeah, I'm starting from scratch. I've been playing exclusively on hard mode because I figure, hey, why not? I'm an adult. I can handle this. I'm not going to cry.
You could smash cut.
Well, I got to be honest. I also like the room layouts better because there's less cramped rooms. There's bigger rooms with more enemies, but there are less often small rooms with just one or two too many enemies.
That makes sense.
I'm very proud of you for playing on hard mode.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm not.
I'm basically the best Binding of Isaac player there's ever been. No big deal.
So I'm very late to playing many games in the world. Basically, like my repertoire for a while was like The Sims and Stardew Valley because I would just want to come home and be like, I just want to build shit. I just want to plant a fucking pepper and kiss a man, and that's all I want to do. But a couple weeks ago,
you can't, can you?
But recently, a couple weeks ago, I finally got Resident Evil 2.
Ooh.
And my my stepdad like always played horror games when like we were kids. My like always like was into like the horror genre, and I was a little pussy piss baby. Like whenever like the fucking Resident Evil scream would come on, I'd be like, well, I'm gonna go pee my pants and cry for the next like 20 minutes. So what am I trying to say? Oh, so finally got Resident Evil 2 because I mean it was a great title, and whenever it was released, I think 98, 99. And I'm like, I gotta play the remake. But the thing is, I bought the remake on a Friday night at 2:00 in the morning. And
did you play it at Friday night at 2:00 in the morning?
I sure fucking did.
Hell yeah.
But the thing was, I was so tired. I had worked all day. And then I think when I got it, I had a friend streaming on Twitch that night. So I was working all day. An hour after I got out of work, helped him with the stream. Immediately after that, like was hanging out for a little bit, and I was like, I want to play this game. I didn't realize that I put it on hard mode.
Oh no.
Amazing. Amazing.
And so like the first level, the first part of the game, like you pick your person, you're either Leon or Claire, and I picked sexy Leon, and so I'm walking through the gas station and life is good. And I'm like shooting this zombie man. I'm like, why is he fucking dying? Why is it dying?
I love it so much.
And then like I played it for like 4 or 5 hours, and I'm like, I keep dying. I don't think I'm terrible at playing games. Like I'm not the greatest, but like what the fuck? And then the next day, I booted up the game, and it was like difficulty, super hardcore mode, and I'm like, what?
Who is this?
So all the progress that I made, dying 40 times in that 4-hour gameplay, I was like, we're gonna go on the assisted mode because I'm a little bitch baby, and I would like to actually beat the game. So Noah,
I would like to actually enjoy my playtime, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to enjoy.
That's super fair.
I would like to enjoy my playtime. I would like to know what's going on and not feel like I'm just running away from the tyrant the entire time I'm playing this game. And 80% of my gameplay time is me iced, whipped.
Yeah,
fair. Dan, were you gonna say something?
Yes.
No, I was agreeing.
Oh,
that was an agreement. I have no comments beyond. I wish I was better at Isaac, but I also can't bring myself to play it more.
Right. That's definitely how I was for ages. And then I don't know why I had beef with watching Northern Lion content, because Jackson had nothing but good things to say about him.
I know why.
Why?
Because you immediately dislike things when people tell you, when you realize that they're popular.
No, that wasn't it at all.
It has been a thing consistently.
I'm not going to pretend
you've gotten a lot better at it lately.
I'm not going to pretend it's not a thing. However, I've never had that thought about Northern Lion. I'm aware that he's like very popular, but I also just couldn't get into him. And then I saw that he's on part like 97 of a Binding of Isaac run right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I popped on one of his videos and I fell asleep to it. And I watched another one and I'm like, this is actually great content. I like this a lot. This is fantastic. And I found him on Twitter because, God forbid you interact with something and then everything is promoted to you for the end of time. But I saw today, there's a point to this, you see. I saw the best tweet of all time.
You did?
Okay.
Yeah. So he tweeted, you ever complain about the weather? You ever complain about the weather? There's still people like, that's nothing. I live in Arizona and it's 118 degrees here. No shit, buddy. That's why I don't live in Arizona. And I thought that was very, very funny. I thought that was dead.
It's very funny
hilarious.
and very real.
Yeah.
And then And then, Dan, I saw there was one quote retweet. So I looked at it and it's just a person saying, I'm that person. Literally, shut up. These assholes be complaining it's hot at 80. I'm sick. And it's like, dude, this tweet is about you. How did you see a tweet that's about you? And then you walk up to it and I'm like, yeah, it's about me. And I'm going to do the thing anyway. What are you doing? What is the point of this?
And I'm going to keep complaining about it. Fuck.
I'll do it and you can't stop me.
You're over there and I'm over here. Stupid.
It was, oh my gosh. It was just so, I was reeling. How do you take that? It was so amazingly out of touch.
This is about me and I take pride in this shitty behavior that I'm exhibiting. Like, that's what it is.
It is. How could you be so tone deaf when someone's like, I'm talking about you. You are the person I'm talking about. And then you're like, yeah, you're talking about me and I'm going to talk about you right back. Because you don't understand.
You're talking about me and I'm proud of being garbage.
You don't like that I don't like the weather? Well, I don't like the fact that you don't like the fact that I don't like the weather right now. So I'm just going to keep doing it.
It seems we've reached an impasse.
Like, literally, Arizona people have central air. I don't have central air. You at least outside, you're gonna die. I understand that. I sympathize.
Also, not all of Arizona. To be clear, there's a lot of like rural and lower class Arizona that does not have central air, and I do not know how they survive.
Neither do I. But like
physically,
for the most part,
but go on.
For the most part, people in arid climates are gonna have air conditioning of some sort. Even if it's not central air, you're most likely gonna have a window AC, or you're a person who is acclimated to higher temperatures in general. Yes, we have some record-breaking heats right now. I'm not trivializing that at all.
The planet's fucking dying.
But like, you know, you have all that stuff going on. Man, like, it's 85 and humid in Erie, and it ranges from 85 and humid to 95 and humid all summer long. And I'm sorry that I am not happy at being a sticky, sweaty mess in my own home where I should have comforts.
Mood.
No, you shouldn't.
But at the same time, I know
Don't be a baby.
I would say, at least for me, I'm not waking up every morning because I like my cooler weather too. But I am not spending every day of my life like going on Twitter and being like, hey guys, it's 85 degrees and I'm hot. I fucking hate this state and I fucking hate this city. I'm moving to Florida where it's much worse and I can complain about it even more. Fuck you, Erie.
I mean,
wait, this seems like a direct call out? Is this a direct call out?
To Florida.
Oh, I thought...
just as a state.
Sorry, I would rather live here than Florida. Hey guys, if you're from Florida, fuck you.
I can't believe... You would say that's a high? What did high ever do?
I would say that's a high.
Everybody except high.
No. I would say that's high.
You can't back down. Actually, wait, while we're here, while we're talking about high.
I can back down. I'm the guest.
It's June as of recording.
It is June.
And even though July 1st is when this episode's coming out, technically we haven't missed our June shout out for high that we've been really bad about remembering to make Dan say.
I'm just saying.
Dan.
Oh, fuck. Can you send me the thing? I do not remember what it was.
It's in the shoutouts channel.
Dan, if you do not...
Oh, fuck.
If you do not do the shout out, you are homophobic.
Well, you might take that back when you hear what it is.
She's looking at it.
I'm looking at it right now.
The context here, I believe, was hopping in on a total... It was definitely Total War. I'm trying to remember if it was Total War... it was definitely Warhammer. I'm trying to remember if it was Total War or Perventide. But the High says, and I quote, "Bloody pink rat cum. Please make Dan say this in June." And I'm sorry that you all had to deal with that, but it is High's fault, and I am a slave to the people that give me money.
I'm sorry, High, that it took us this long to do this for you. But I'm not.
Don't apologize to him. He knows what he did.
Because you did make me have to listen to that with my own ears.
But also,
you had to make not just him listen. You had to make the entire like community listen.
But also, and hear me out. What a great end of Pride Month.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
I don't think I can.
You're not incorrect. I mean, listen, if there was a way for me that I knew that was going to be the end of Pride Month, I would have gotten on board so long ago.
The only better way to that this could have been is Gritty from the Philadelphia Flyers making a TikTok with a pride flag and the caption being that.
Oh my gosh. No, I just remembered. Carly, you're on TikTok, so you probably know the 4 old gay men.
Yes.
Okay, so Dan, you aren't familiar with this, but you might have seen it go around Twitter. But did you see the video of it's these 4 guys talking about how like when they came out, right? And like when they became like comfortable with being gay and all that kind of stuff and comfortable with who they were. And then suddenly it turns into a fucking Froyo ad.
Amazing.
Or like a smoothie place, something like that.
Good.
And the thing is just like, what was it? It's like making everyone comfortable with their choices, like something like that.
Yeah.
Make sure you're always happy with the choices you make, something like that. But it's like, it's these guys who like, all in all, I really have enjoyed their videos when they've popped up on my page. It's just like, oh yeah, this is kind of neat. They're recounting life stories. Sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's good, but it's a pretty good time. You just got these 4 guys sitting around a table telling these stories about being gay. But then this like sleeper agent of a Froyo ad comes out of nowhere.
So
and you just get punched in the face with Toyota. You know, like it literally I could not have been more shocked than when that twist happened. Like, you know how sometimes you're watching a commercial during the Super Bowl and you play the game like car ad or something else? This didn't even clue me in enough to think that it was a car ad. I literally just thought it was a general purpose like pride video because that's what it looked like. That's what it sounded like. It's like, yeah, you're going to deviate from main content a little bit because it's pride and you're going to tell a story about that relates to pride. But no.
It was 45 seconds of like, I mean, and I don't remember like everything they said, but basically just like,
it was like heartfelt stuff.
Like I was not comfortable with myself. And now I am comfortable and 60 and thriving for 45 seconds. And then like the last 15 seconds, it's just like,
and that's why I go to Shake Shack. Wait, it was Shake Shack, wasn't it? It was Shake Shack. Daniel. The literal end of the video, it was, and that's why we go to Shake Shack.
I physically cannot.
Shake Shack loves the gays.
It was, oh my gosh, it was so bad. It was so bad.
They kind of took the approach of like, hey, this has been a very hard time for your families and people aren't making money right now and the panorama has been very hard on everyone, so why don't you come down to Chick-fil-A for an 8-piece nugget for $2.99 and you can get a free party platter. Chick-fil-A, we love families.
Worst thing.
There's a little asterisk on families, and in the footnotes it says straight families.
Hetero families only, please. If you are gay, go away. Love Chick-fil-A.
That all rhymed, and I really hate you for it, Carly.
I am a poet,
need you to know that.
And I know it. You can buy my book. No.
Man, I was ready for a random like Carly merch plug. I was ready for this.
I was so here for it.
Not yet. I'm kidding. No, I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
I mean, we do have a Carly podcast plug coming up soon. Carly doesn't have a podcast yet, but Carly's getting in the process of getting her podcasting gear together.
Yeah.
Do you have a name?
You should definitely. Do you have a name? Yeah. Do we have a name? Do we have any? Can we give you any plugs at all?
This is the exclusive.
This is the exclusive E-News deep dive.
Oh my god! Can this be ET?
This is yes.
Entertainment Tonight. Hi. This is one half of the upcoming podcast. So the name that we have decided on is Between the Fridges.
You're looking it up, right?
Between the Fridges. That's right.
That's not bad at all.
Okay.
I don't mind that at all.
Long story short, we have 2 refrigerators in my house. That's it.
That's not terrible.
7 people living there?
6.
6 people living
Gross.
there.
When I first moved into
That's too many people.
when I first moved into the place that that I am at now, there were 6 people, and it was a hellhole. And
The upstairs doesn't have a hallway, so to get to the back room, you had to walk through 2 people's bedroom.
And imagine nothing. Well, not nothing. All women, ages 21 to 30, living in the same household. And get this, Stan. Here's the kicker. They were all evangelical Christians. Great time.
It used to be a church-sponsored, like, borderline halfway house, wasn't it?
Yeah. And now
your old place, Dan.
What?
To give you an idea of the crowd.
I sure do hate that.
I know, right?
Yeah. Definitely not like that anymore. We still have great morals. But now we have But now we have a wine cabinet.
As TBH, the fact that you managed to make it that long without a wine cabinet is
honestly
insane.
Though,
we had a no alcohol rule in the house when I first moved in.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
I understand addiction's a thing.
Yes.
I understand it's a big problem for some people.
Absolutely.
However,
absolutely,
when I know for a fact it's not a problem for most of the people, it's just an ethical, apparently, dilemma. Then it just reminds me of that guy who is out here right now, like, I drank 14 energy drinks in a single day and I had a heart attack, so we need to ban energy drinks. And it's like, hey, dude, maybe if you just didn't drink 14 energy drinks in one day. Because, Dan, I think you and I can agree. You can go up to like 3, maybe 4 if you're feeling dangerous, but like, you don't go past that.
Yeah, if you're a coward.
Yeah, okay, if you're a pussy ass bitch. I'm kidding.
Okay, fine, whatever, Dan. If you want to go harder than that, that's between you and your God.
Yes.
But for me, my limit was always 3. I would never go over 3. I only got to 3 once or twice. But I mean, I drank 2 a day for what, like 2 years almost, at least 1 full year. That's
no. Think of how many years of your life you've removed now.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, like
honestly, same.
Yeah, like some of the.
I'm gonna die at 67, and that's gonna be fine.
Oh my god.
Here we go. I'll live a full life and die at 67 from energy drink related injuries.
No, what's your middle initial?
No.
Fine, I'll make one up. Looks like Noah's middle name is Danger Zone over here.
Damn.
Noah Danger Zone.
Noah Danger Zone dates.
Can't believe I'm being called out like this.
Well, here.
Danger Zone.
Danger Zone.
Noah Danger Zone. Was it what was his last name? Cruz?
Yeah.
Yeah. Noah Danger Zone Cruz Deets.
Cruz Deets. I like how not only did we go for the hyphenated name, but her name went first. Man, can you imagine the absolute shit show that would cause if I had actually done that?
Yeah, you should have done it.
I wouldn't have minded, but Nina liked my name, so we went with my name. I wouldn't want hyphenated. I would absolutely not want hyphenated.
I feel like you would have caused a minor controversy. Like, why would you take your wife's name?
At all. I don't think it would have been minor at all.
No, I'm with Dan on this one. I don't think it would have been
very
minor.
mad
I think
about it.
Moderate, at least?
Many people would have actually been like,
yeah.
I don't think many people would have talked to me about it unless they saw me in person.
True. Yeah,
however,
you're
I think
right.
I can think that a lot of people
would have had opinions.
Now,
yeah.
Are we talking like former circles of a lot of people? Yep. Oh my gosh. Like if I
Franzilla, definitely.
Shrek the Third.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I
would have finally just become one of those nasty leftist communists that they never registered I was.
Same.
Me. Like, because like I've spoken about this with a couple friends too, that like I think what kept me so grounded in my time with, basically, for lack of a better way of saying it, the diet cult that we were a part of.
Yeah. Diet cult is great.
Because it wasn't like completely a cult, but it definitely had like cultish tendencies and cultish rules that carried over to where like to my house, like the whole no drinking thing and having 2 people with you when a guy came over and asking for permission for men to come over and all this stuff, like and like the rules being based off of like biblical
womanhood.
texts and stuff. Whole lot of shit to that that I'm sure we will talk about on my podcast, but but
where you don't have these pesky rules in the way,
right?
Exactly.
So I feel like what kept me grounded in all that time, because I feel like I was always like in EYA, I was always, I don't want to say like an outcast, but essentially just like the way that I acted was very different from everybody else. Like I wasn't really invited to like the girls group outings and things like that, but I lived like a completely separate life, like on the internet. Like I had like a whole bunch of friends online and like they were the ones that kind of were like, and it sounds terrible to say, but like being 19 years old on fucking O2L Stan Twitter, my internet friends were telling me like, hey, homophobia is bad. Like they were the first people for like to really have me like for me to understand like, hey, it's not okay that you think gay people are bad people. And I'm like, oh shit, you're right.
What?
Like, and like using basically looking at biblical like scripture and matching it to their stuff. I'm like, oh my God, they're kind of right. And so like, and I think that's why it was easier for me to kind of distance myself, because I had so many years of like basically living 2 separate lives, like having my life on the internet and my life in the evangelical church, and just being able to form my own opinion. And already like as people are talking about being like gay being bad and you know, like not to get crazy political, but just the just some of their things, I would be able to mentally have my own counterpoints and be like, okay, this is kind of wrong. So in a way, I'm kind of thanks for my Twitter friends from like 10 years ago.
I mean, there's a very
well,
there's a very real thing too of like I mentioned it to Emma once, maybe a year ago now, that like even just the patience that certain people are willing to show you when you say things or do things that are just not okay. And like sure, whatever, you don't know any better. But like that's still a big deal that people are willing to, like, that anyone would be willing to just sit there and be like, actually, though, no.
Yeah.
Like, because I genuinely, I don't know how willing I would be to do that, especially like in today's economy.
Yeah.
So shout out to the people who do take the time and are willing to like see people as just being mistaken and not being bad or evil or, you know, whatever.
Exactly.
Because like otherwise people just get worse. Like it's just because they don't know any better. And yeah, on some level you can be like, well, if they would just have basic human decency, but like it's not that easy.
Yeah.
It's not that easy when your definition of basic human decency doesn't match the rest of the world's because of the life you grew up in.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like that was partially kind of the life that I was in, and so being at home and going to the church and that kind of being supported, going home and, you know, logging on to Twitter on a Monday night and them being like, hey, we love everybody. We love everybody here. And it was kind of like, yeah, I just kind of had to be like, okay, but why? You know, like,
yeah,
it just like in the way of why do we dislike these people? It was also just kind of like, why do I like them then? What's the reason I like them? What's the reasons why I don't like them? And I've just come to realize,
are there actual reasons, or is it just deep-seated ideas about who people are or aren't?
Exactly. And it's just, I guess, the realization that I had to come to is that it is a lot easier to find the good in a person than to just spend your life hating everyone except the people that are just like you, because your circles are going to be really small if you have that sort of mentality in life. Like, I am so lucky. Go ahead.
Good. I was gonna say I totally agree. I think there's also some people, right? Some people I think you absolutely can sit there and be like, wow, I'm not interested in maintaining this, right?
Absolutely.
Like I think that's very valid, and like I know for a fact, like just even if I can't pick names out of a hat, like like through time, people have had that opinion of me. Like they've been like, I will not sit here and maintain this relationship with you because I can't be the person, and it can't be my job to educate you on this. And that's so fair.
Yeah,
that's so okay and fair. It also, having been on the other side, I feel like it makes it a lot easier to. I feel like having been grown up in one and moved to the other, it makes it a lot easier to realize that, well, most people aren't evil. They're just misinformed or stupid. Like,
yeah.
Like the majority of people in my life who I've been like, damn, I physically don't like the words you're saying repulse me. You're just dumb or uncaring, like, or aren't aware. Like most people I feel like aren't actually evil about it.
Right.
Not everyone. There are definitely people who are actually evil. Like don't get me wrong.
Yeah. And I know that
I feel like the majority are just very working with what they have and what they know and what they understand.
Yeah, and I mean I can't speak for Noah on this, but I know that I have especially on Zuckerberg's space, I have had to remove people just because there is like, and I don't really like unfriend anybody. Usually like 9 times out of 10 it's the opposite. It's people unfriending me because of disagreements. But usually like I don't, but there comes a point where it's like, all right, you're too fucking far gone. There is nothing that I can say and nothing that I can do to convince you or even possibly sway you to look in the other direction, because you're so far inundated in this opinion that is completely cruel. And so sometimes it is very okay to distance yourself from those people because there is no convincing, and they just have to do that work themselves and come to that realization on on their own.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, baseball's really cool.
I'm really glad to know that. And I'm very angry that I might get into it because of you. I
want to see Jingle Bangle do the best shortstop play in the entire world. I can't wait. I can't wait to do my Jingle Bangle cosplay for Halloween.
While we were recording, the finale of the season went down, and it's not great. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not great.
Who died?
Management's not happy with us. Let me just put it that way. Management is high key being very threatening, and we're all like, oh fuck, oh no, oh god. Management's not good. Jesus soap.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Never mind.
What is it?
Sorry, I opened Facebook to dismiss a notification, and
that'll do it.
There was a picture of Jesus soap, but like it flashed so quickly, I saw Jesus soap, but the soap.
It says, "Been a little naughty, wash away your sins," and it's just soap with Jesus on it.
But the soap kind of.
I sure do hate that.
Me too.
But that's the thing. Like it flashed so quickly. I saw Jesus soap, but then the Jesus soap just looked like the angry wiener that I drew last night.
Yeah, it looks really phallic.
And so it's like, hello.
I mean, they definitely did it on purpose.
I gotta be honest, Dan, I don't think they did.
No way. The thing says been a little naughty. They had to know.
So guys, Jesus is a wiener confirmed.
Damn.
Jesus.
I love you, Jesus.
And all that to be said, we gotta wrap this up.
Listen,
now,
I'm just saying.
In a long episode.
Jesus was a woodworker. That's all I'm saying.
Shut up, Dan. It does make up for our 48 or whatever minute episode from last week. Shortest episode to date, I think.
Yeah, damn.
Maybe. Yikes.
I'm not sure. But yeah, Carly, you're a guest.
Hello.
Where do we find you online if you want us to find you online?
No, I'm kidding. No, you can. You guys. Well, thank you. First of all, thank you for having me. What? As always, it has been such a blast. I'll see you in 18 months.
It's a big promise to make.
True. But if you would like to find me on the internet, you can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, Pinterest.
Damn, deep cuts.
I love Pinterest so much. But you can find me at WizCarlyfuh. That's WizCarlyfuh. It is just like Wiz Khalifa, but I'm a very pretty girl and very white. So, it's a great time, and that's also where we will end up dropping all the information for when my podcast ends up coming to be Between the Fridges. So, would love to see you guys there as well, but ultimately support these boys first, and then me fifth.
Fifth. Damn. Thanks, Carly.
Thank you.
If anyone wants to support us, we would love a review on Apple Podcasts. Would be super cool of you. Go to Apple Podcasts, find us, give us a 5-star review to bump our average up. Joe Rogan's back. And he's a 4.6, baby. We beat Joe Rogan.
I get to be here for the defeat of Joe Rogan.
I cannot believe Joe Rogan is back on here, and somehow there's just enough. He must have been here the whole time. I can't believe he went away. But still, he must have gotten enough low reviews that it bumped him down from the 4.8 to a 4.6, or I misremembered the whole time. Regardless, we beat Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, eat a toad.
So yeah, now we just have to beat Office Ladies. That's the 4.8 average, so a few more 5 stars should bump us up there. That's all I've got. Dan, what about you? You think that's it? Sounds like it to me. That's a wrap, everyone. Yeah. Good answer.